Hello, I'm Margaret Andera, Interim Chief Curator and Curator of Contemporary Art at the Milwaukee Art Museum, and I'd like to welcome you to the fifth installment of Collection Reflection, a series of video conversations in which the curators of the museum explore thematic links that cut across our individual curatorial departments to create connections across the collection as a whole. The first topic we are considering is the notion of still life, and how artists have explored this theme across time and across media. Tanja Paul began the conversation with this work by 18th century Dutch painter Jan Vanos. Nikki Otten followed with a discussion about this pastel from the early 20th century by French artist Odilon Redon. Next, Lisa Sutcliffe examined this photograph, produced in 2015 by John Hauk. And in the last installment, Brandon Rood discussed this painting from circa 1852 by 19th century artist Severin Rosen. Today, I'm going to add a three-dimensional work to the conversation. Beth Lipman's large-scale installation, Laid Table, Still Life with Metal Pitcher, from 2007. Lipman, who lives and works in Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin, is best known for her monumental still life sculptures made using a variety of glass techniques. Her work pays homage to still life paintings from the 17th through the 20th century, like, for example, the Vanos and Rosen paintings discussed by Tanja and Brandon, respectively. And like those paintings, Lipman's compositions address themes of desire and consumption, growth and decay, and the transience of life. Laid Table is composed of approximately 500 separate pieces of glass, and it took Lipman 10 months to complete. We see a table that overflows with a banquet of food, including various fruits, cheeses, and oysters, as well as flowers, towering vases, and a multitude of opulent goblets, platters, and other tableware. Lipman approaches these large-scale sculptures as three-dimensional drawings. First, she fabricates a number of individual pieces until she has enough to begin a composition. She starts with the larger objects and vessels, some of which are inspired by 17th and 18th century banquet centerpieces. These towers lavishly decorated the tables of the wealthy and aristocratic. Building around these forms, she locates and relocates individual pieces to see what looks good, considering the line, form, weight, mass, and texture of each object, as well as the relationships between objects. Laid Table's composition features a balance of forms, some extending beyond the edge of the table on either side, counteracted by the empty, open space at the center front of the sculpture. As we look at a detail of the work, you can see that 500 individual pieces leads to a densely packed tabletop. As an aside, the large number of pieces also makes this work incredibly complex to install and deinstall, as you can imagine. Each vessel is functional, by the way. You could drink out of a chalice or any of the goblets or wine glasses. Not that I'm recommending that. Here is a closer look at Lipman's technical Brevira and the level of detail in each and every piece of glass. Notice the bowl of cherries, complete with stems, and the delicate small vase with flowers, a symbol of new life. Looking at these more intimate elements allows you to appreciate Lipman's technical proficiency in a wide range of scale. Tanja explained, the Vanos painting references the passage of time through its inclusion of flowers from different growing seasons that could not exist together in reality, like the spring iris and the summer marigold. Similarly, Laid Table presents an impossible optical space, in that the variety of serving dishes populating the table are rooted in different time periods and serve dissimilar functions. Thus, this array of dishes would never occur in one place. Interestingly, there is a connection between Lipman and Severin Rosen's work. Lipman participated in a group exhibition at the Brooklyn Museum of Art in 2000 that invited the artists to create a response to an artwork from within that museum's collection. Lipman chose a still life by Rosen, recreating the objects depicted in the painting in clear, sculpted glass. It was her first glass sculpture. As Brandon pointed out in his discussion of this painting by Rosen from our collection, the cornucopia of exotic fruits and other delicacies may suggest abundance, but a closer look at the work reveals that some of the elements are in a state of decay. At first glance, Laid Table entices you with its smooth and lustrous surfaces of opulent glass objects. But look more closely and you'll see the broken and rotting remains of a once elaborate party. Lipman's work stands as a critique of indulgence and consumerism. Note the similarities in composition between the two works, especially the way that the abundance depicted in each work results in elements hanging over the table's edges. You see the remarkable way Lipman controls the fluidity of her material in the cascade of spilled wine. Wine has spilled and goblets have broken. You can even see a shard of glass on the ground. And the snails have arrived to feast on the food spoils. An important difference between Lipman's work and the still life paintings she references is color. On the one hand, Lipman's use of clear glass creates a tangible third dimension, emulating painting's polished quality. On the other hand, the absence of color in Lipman's sculptures simply captures the essence of an object, which is counter to the meticulously rendered details characteristic of still life paintings. When asked why she doesn't work with colored glass, Lipman says, "I really enjoy how the clear glass really frustrates your eye. You can see it, but you're also seeing through it. It's visually unattainable." In this image, your eye sees the outline of, say, the vessel directly behind the wine glass in the foreground, but simultaneously sees through it to those objects in the background. One form dissolves into another, and there is no place for your eye to rest. The image on the left gives you an idea of how reflective the glass surfaces are. Forms are recognizable, but the reflection and refraction of light causes the eye to question what it sees. Laid Table exemplifies Lipman's remarkable ability to translate the essential nature of still life into an entirely new medium, and is an indication of her deep understanding of the genre. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion of this extraordinary still life sculpture. If you would like to see other videos in this series, please go to the museum's website, mam.org, where you'll find the Collection Reflection series, as well as other terrific content related to the museum's collection. Thank you.